Rico, your end of the year blog posting, you want to reflect on your year's blogging activity.
Yeah, it's another year past, coming to the end of 2012, and yeah, I'd just like to reflect on like the year that's passed and what I've covered really. I mean, I started the year in January 2012, just finishing my MacTap postings, where I then went into Operation Endgame, where I fully exposed the shambolic suspension and illegal suspension, in my view, of the former Chief of Police Graham Power.
Yeah, it was a busy year. How many you've done? Over 80
I've
blogs?
done, I think so far, my end of year for blogging actually finishes in April, but I've so far done 82 posts this year, which is, some people might not think it's a lot, you know, some people, and you know, all blogs are different, but yeah, it's been a long year. It's a very time-consuming process, but obviously the subject matter of child abuse, it deserves as much attention as you can give to it, really, to be honest.
Well, there's been some very significant postings that you've put up, not least which managed to get underway the BDO auto review.
Well, that's right. I mean, that came in the June of 2011, and coming into 2012 was just a continuation of those postings and the information that was coming out of the BDO review, which is into the financial management of Operation Rectangle, which was the investigation into decades-long child abuse in Jersey. And yeah, basically it was carrying on of the exposing of Mick Gradwell, who was the Deputy Superintendent, Mick Gradwell I should say, who was the lead investigator, senior investigating officer of Operation Rectangle when Lenny Harper left in 2008. And yeah, just really, you know, managed to, through the work and the research and that, found out that he was actually leaking information to the Daily Mail journalist David Rose, who was the #1 journalist who was discrediting the Jersey investigation. You know, it's strong stuff when you you know, when you catch a lead investigator, you know, who, you know, it's a
leaking confidential information,
yeah,
during a live child abuse investigation
into an investigation that he's been running.
Yeah,
you know, it's been incredible, really. You know, and then from that continuation, then you know, I did my Operation Endgame postings, which people can Google. But followed in, I really dissected the suspension of Graham Power, and when I look back on that body of work, I don't mind saying that, you know, I don't know if it's too big, you know, for me to say, but I think it's probably one of the most complete pieces of investigative journalism that I think Jersey's seen.
Indeed, there has been a lot of it. That was that side of it. But during the course of the year, you've managed to make contact or been contacted by national journalists.
I have, yeah. I've had during the course of the year, I've been contacted by outside journalists who have taken a very keen interest into what's been going on in Jersey, and I've met and engaged with them over the year, and it's been, for myself on a personal side, it's been quite rewarding that me as say an amateur citizens journalist, it's been quite gratifying. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, my work's been respected by people from the outside who's
national journalists.
That's their job, you know.
Which is in stark contrast to our local state media, because all our local state media can do is slag off the blogs, but being recognised by outside journalists.
Yeah, you know, there's you know, it's very hard to explain, you know, because obviously people like ourselves and that, you know, we're not trained journalists and all the rest of it. We do, you know, the blogging is in our spare time and all the rest of it. But and it is, you know, it's a lot of hard work. You know, the blogs get a lot of bad press. We're almost made out to be sort of some demonic entity by the by certain, well, I'd say mainly the Jersey Evening Post in Jersey is the main culprit for that. But when you think, like, I was looking the other day and I was thinking, you know, like most of the blogs in Jersey, especially, you know, the political blogs, you know, concentrating on the child abuse and that, you know, most of them we are under the people's own name. Like you have myself, Rico Sorda Blogspot, You have Deputy Trevor Pittman goes under his name. Former Senator Stuart Sivray posts under his name. You've got the Ian Evans blogspot under his name. You've got your Voice for Children blogspot, but everybody pretty much knows who you are. You know, so we're not hiding. You know, we're very open. You know, we're not hiding. Like, you know, so I think that's a very important fact to get across. But you normally find the people who try to belittle you on other blogs now, you always find it's done anonymously. They're never prepared to put their names to it, you know, and I think that's a very important point to keep hold of.
Well, you mentioned there about the Jersey Evening Post, Jersey's only newspaper. I use the word news in inverted commas, but you challenged them this year, didn't you?
Yeah, okay, yeah, so much is going on this year. Yeah, I challenged the editors of the Jersey Evening Post, Chris Bright and Rob Shipley, to come, you know, and face me in the studio and
live radio,
yeah, on BBC Jersey, and let's discuss, you know, the issues. I wanted it done like on a Sunday morning or
because
something.
they had said that bloggers, conspiracy theorists, or words similar, saying that we don't put up evidence and facts. So you challenged them to a live radio
straight
debate.
away. When I read that, I thought, I'm not having that. So I just put the challenge straight out. I said, I'm prepared to come in the studio, you know, and you know, with all the information and that, it cannot be done in a 15-minute, half-hour segment. You know, at best, you need a 2-hour program where you really engage and you can get into the nitty-gritty of it. But they refuse to do it, and which I find quite incredible, because all through the year, the Jersey Evening Post are represented on the BBC Radio Jersey pretty much daily. We have Carl Walker, the deputy editor, I believe he is, of the Jersey Evening Post, comes on the
every weekday.
Yeah, and tells them what's on their front pages.
Of course, on a Sunday we have Ben Query or Carl Walker again on a Sunday. We have them, you know, sometimes, you know, 6-7 times a week. We have the Jersey Evening Post on BBC State Radio. So
yeah, and they didn't turn up. But I was very happy that Senator Lamarco came in the studio with me for 15 minutes, and you know, it was very hard on 15 minutes. But I think now if people go back and listen to that, which is on the Jersey Way blog site, you know, it's very telling how his answers are so evasive and that, you know, and that's because, you know, we both know, you know, he's in a difficult situation with the Graham Power suspension. And, you know, he did tell me off air that on the committee of inquiry, which we hope to have next year, that he will challenge and fight against any amendment brought forward to have the suspension of Graham Power looked into. In my view, I can understand totally why, because he would be totally exposed if they do look at it. Yeah,
of course, you know, another one of the substantial and significant blog postings you've done was the leaking of the excuse me, of the in-camera debate where it looked like former Home Affairs Minister.
See, yeah, I mean, it's when I picked it out, you know, it's been an incredible year, really. You know, sometimes I think, oh, you know, 2012, it hasn't been as, you know, spectacular, say, as the last part of the years. When I say spectacular, you know, because you get excited, you know, blogging, you do get a buzz off it, like, you know, because you get so tunnel vision, right? You know, you're looking for information, you get given information, and yeah, I came into possession of the in-camera debates, and I had no hesitation in putting it up online, because it's a public interest disclosure as far as I'm concerned, and it exposed the former Home Affairs Minister Andrew Lewis as at best they call it misleading the House. I call it lying in the House, because he's not a stupid person. He knows what he's saying. He said he had seen the Met's interim report in the States. He told Wiltshire that he hadn't seen the Met interim report. They just make it up as they go along.
So you published that on your blog. Noticeably, none of the state media picked up on it. They thought the big news was the actual leak.
Yeah, they wanted, basically, I think they wanted to call me into scrutiny, but I made it quite clear that I would never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, divulge my sources. Never. You know, it is the gold, whether we're citizen journalists, bloggers, whatever, you know, where we have the same connection with the mainstream journalists, is you never divulge a source.
That's right. That's going on there, and of course, you said you made a lot of contacts this year. Yourself, the Rico Sorda blog, and the Voice for Children blog got some very positive acknowledgement, if it's the right word, from the Guardian newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, the Guardian was just another part of the year that's passed, really. You know, it just shows you that the work was picked up, that had been conducted, been picked up by UK journalists, and the way I set it out had made a lot of sense. You know, it was all, I mean, when you go back and read the Operation Endgame postings, it's full of hard documentation. It's, you know, I didn't mess around there, you know, that's why I broke it down on the, you know, on purpose, but so people could follow it in a very layman type way, which is probably my style. Yeah. But yeah, so that was very pleasing that you know, outside journalists picked that up, you know, and thought it credible enough, and you know, just not my work, you know, of course, yourselves as well, you know, and it features in a double spread in the Guardian. I mean, you know what I mean? I've got to be happy with that, you know.
Which is in again, we've got to say, which is in stark contrast to our local media that still try and put us down and label us as troublemaker or whatever. There's all sorts of labels, but the national and international media are starting to acknowledge that we're credible news sources.
Well, no one can deny, but there's a huge story here in Jersey, an absolutely huge story. You know, I mean, you know, it was okay. The committee of inquiry is meant to be coming in January of 2013. You know, we still haven't got the committee of inquiry. It still has to be passed in the States. Now, it should be passed in the States, but we actually haven't got a committee of inquiry yet. Yeah. But because the Chief Minister's bringing it, it should go through. But then again, it's like Plemmel. Who knows what could happen now? But my instinct is that it will go through, but it's what will go through is the key. It's the terms of reference is the most, you know, committee of inquiry is a committee of inquiry, but it's the meat on the bones is the terms of reference. And I know there's a lot of work going on in the background, and hopefully in 2013 and January at the beginning, we'll be branching into that of what's been going on to you know, beef up the terms of reference. So
that was my sort of next question. 2013, the direction of your blog.
Well, that's a good, you know, I nearly swore there, I didn't. But yeah, that's a very good question. Like 2013, what do I see for myself and the direction of my blog is, I like to think in 2013 at some stage, I won't say I will stop blogging, but I'd like to think I will be coming close, because it's taken a lot out of me. 2012 has been a difficult year, not just for the blogging, but like on personal issues. But it's a lot, as you know, it's a lot of work, takes a lot out of me, but I cannot let it rest until I know that the whole child abuse investigation thing it's been not put to rest, is not a quite, but, and I don't even like the word closure, but it's just so everyone's happy. The people, most importantly, the abuse survivors, if they're happy, I'm happy, and then so be it. But I would, you know, just to finish up, you know, I'd just like to say to all my viewers, you know, listeners, whatever you readers, but yeah, 2013, like I said, you know, I will be carrying on, and I will carry on until this is finished, and then you know, I don't see myself as a long-term blogger, not at all. Like, you know, I have other things I need to get on with, but I just cannot let it rest until it's done. And that's a part of me, but that's like, it's a little bit of the fighter instinct in me, but you know, I don't give up. I will not give up. You know, just got to keep going, and who knows what will happen. I mean, you could be interviewing me this time, you know, at the end of 2013, going, oh, so what's the plan for 2014? Well, I hope I'll be stopping blogging in 2014. But we'll see. You know, in this game, you know, you just don't know what's around the corner. Sometimes it goes quiet, and you're thinking, you know what, it's getting, and then boom, up it goes, and away we go, yeah. As it goes. But you know, I just cannot thank people enough for their support. It means absolutely everything. You know, just sitting in front of a computer, getting this stuff up. You know, it's not glamorous, and we don't do it for the hits. I know I don't do it for the hits, and I want a big, spectacular, popular blog. I know you don't do it for that. You know, we do it, we hope, for the right reasons. And yeah, that's, you know, I can't say more than that. But I would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year, and see you in 2013.